Hello and welcome to LiveLaw, where we make complex legal issues simple and accessible. I'm your host Shambhavi, and today we are diving into a critical piece of legislation that could change the face of healthcare in India: the Prevention of Violence Against Healthcare Professionals and Clinical Establishments Bill 2022. Recently, our nation was shaken by the brutal rape and murder of a young doctor in Kolkata. This tragic incident underscores the urgent need to protect our healthcare professionals. But how do we ensure their safety? That's where this bill comes into play. The bill was introduced by former MP DNV Senthil Kumar from Tamil Nadu in the Lok Sabha in 2022. It aims to prevent violence against healthcare professionals and clinical establishments by implementing strict penalties and protective measures. But this isn't just about punishment. It's about addressing the root causes of violence in healthcare settings. Why is this bill so important? According to a study by the Indian Medical Association, over 75% of doctors in India have faced some form of violence while on duty. The violence isn't just physical. Verbal abuse is a daily reality. This bill seeks to provide a comprehensive solution to this pervasive problem. In 2019, the government drafted a bill called the Healthcare Service Personnel and Clinical Establishments Bill 2019 in response to widespread protest after doctors in West Bengal faced violence. A committee including representatives from Doctors Association, the Indian Medical Association, and various government ministries, including the Law and Finance ministries, worked on the bill. The bill reportedly proposed that anyone who commits violence against healthcare workers or damages hospital property could face 6 months to 5 years in prison and a fine ranging from 50,000 to 5 lakh rupees. If violence causes serious injury or grievous hurt, as we call it in legal language, the punishment would increase to 3 to 10 years in jail with a fine between 2 lakh and 10 lakh rupees. Additionally, the bill reportedly suggested that anyone found guilty would have to pay compensation equal to twice the market value of the damaged property. Importantly, after several incidents of violence against healthcare workers during the COVID-19 pandemic, the government introduced an ordinance in 2020 that amended the Epidemic Diseases Act. This amendment included stricter punishments with jail time of up to 7 years and fines up to Rs 5 lakh. Aside from this draft, individual MPs have also tried to introduce similar private member bills at least 3 times in 2019, 2022 and 2023. In 2019, Shrikant Eknath Shinde, son of Maharashtra's current Chief Minister, proposed a bill named the Prevention of Violence Against Doctors, Medical Professionals and Medical Institutions Bill 2019 with jail time of up to 5 years and fines of up to Rs 5 lakh, but it didn't include compensation for damages. In 2023, Congress MP Shashi Tharoor proposed a bill named the Healthcare Personnel and Healthcare Institutions Bill 2023 with up to 7 years of imprisonment and fines of up to Rs 10 lakh. Before going ahead, let's understand what is a private member's bill. A private member's bill is a legislative proposal introduced by a member of parliament who is not a minister. Unlike government bills, which can be introduced and discussed on any day, private members' bills are limited to Fridays. The MP responsible for the bill must draft it and provide 1 month's notice before its introduction. If there are multiple bills, a ballot system is introduced to determine the order of introduction. These bills are reviewed by the Parliamentary Committee on Private Members' Bills and Resolutions, which classifies them based on urgency and importance. Importantly, the rejection of a private member's bill does not impact parliamentary confidence in the government, nor does it necessitate the government's resignation. After the debate, the MP can withdraw the bill upon a minister's request or proceed with seeking its passage. Although rarely passed, these bills serve to highlight issues and gaps in the existing legal framework, reflecting the concerns of individual MPs and often the stance of the opposition on public matters. Historically, only 14 private members' bills have become law, with the last one passed in 1970. A total of 729 private members' bills were introduced in the 17th Lok Sabha, spanning from June 2019 to February 2024. Let's start by understanding some key terms in the bill. Healthcare professionals includes everyone from doctors and nurses to mental health professionals, dentists, and even medical students. It also covers those who facilitate patient treatment like social workers and transplant coordinators. This refers to any place where healthcare services are provided, including hospitals, clinics, and nursing homes. Violence has been defined broadly. It includes any act that causes harm, injury, intimidation, obstruction, or damage to the property or reputation of healthcare professionals or establishments. Now let's dive into the legal teeth of this bill. The bill explicitly prohibits any act of violence against healthcare professionals or establishments. This includes targeted violence based on caste, gender, religion, or any other discriminatory factor. Any offence under this act is a cognizable and non-bailable offence, which means the police can arrest without a warrant and bail is not easily granted. These cases will be tried by a judicial magistrate of the first class. For general acts of violence, the punishment ranges from 6 months to 5 years, along with a fine of Rs 5,000 to Rs 5 lakh. For grievous hurt, as defined under Section 320 of the Indian Penal Code 1860, the punishment ranges from 3 to 10 years with a fine of Rs 2 lakh to Rs 10 lakhs. In addition to imprisonment, the convicted person must pay compensation equal to twice the fair market value of the damaged property. Failure to pay can result in the sum being recovered as an arrear of land revenue. The bill also outlines the process for handling these cases. The investigation must be conducted by a police officer not below the rank of Deputy Superintendent of Police. The aggrieved healthcare professional has the right to inform the officer in charge at the police station and can seek support from the head of the clinical establishment in filing the complaint. The bill doesn't just focus on penalties, it also mandates responsibilities for healthcare establishments, reducing patient waiting times and ensuring transparency in medical records and treatment costs, establishing a robust grievance redressal system and enhancing hospital security, including coordination with nearby police stations, mandatory reporting of violence and creating investigation panels within hospitals. The central government will establish district committees to handle grievances related to medical negligence or mismanagement. These committees will meet monthly and include experts from medicine, law, consumer rights, and human rights. The transparency of these proceedings is the key, as they will be open to media and public scrutiny. The bill's holistic approach, combining strict penalties with systematic improvements, seeks to create a safer environment for healthcare professionals. However, critics argue that merely increasing penalties isn't enough. The bill's success will depend on its enforcement and the ability to address underlying issues like patient dissatisfaction and communication gaps. None of the 4 bills were eventually passed in the Parliament. The 2019 draft law to protect healthcare workers from violence was rejected by the Home Ministry during consultations. MHA had rejected it, saying that no central legislation can be brought to protect the practitioners of one specific profession. According to Dr. Amrinder Singh Malhi, who was part of the committee that drafted the bill, the law was rejected because similar provisions already existed in the Penal Code. There wasn't enough consultation with all stakeholders, and there were concerns about how it would fit within India's federal system. The draft was never shared with the public for feedback. The Prevention of Violence Against Healthcare Professionals and Clinical Establishments Bill 2022 was introduced in Parliament in 2022. However, the then Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia stated that the government decided not to pursue it as most of its objectives were already covered by the Epidemic Diseases Ordinance 2020. In the context of the recent agitation, officials from the Union Health Ministry have said that new central legislation is unlikely to be useful in a situation where already existing versions of similar state laws in as many as 26 states and union territories out of the total 36 have failed to effectively deter attacks against doctors. Some of the states that have bills for the protection of medical practitioners include Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Delhi, Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Kerala, Maharashtra, Manipur, Odisha, Punjab, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Tripura, Uttarakhand, and West Bengal. In a country where healthcare professionals are often at the front lines, their protection is not just necessary but vital. The Prevention of Violence Against Healthcare Professionals and Clinical Establishments Bill 2022 aims to ensure that those who care for us can do so without fear. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to LiveLaw. Hit the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest legal news and analysis.